Hello and welcome to Nerd Subculture. I'm your host Jared.
And I'm Edwina.
And today we are continuing our Once More with Feeling series on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Today we're doing Season 2, Episode 7, Lie to Me. This episode was first aired November 3rd, 1997, written and directed by the one, the only...
Joss Whedon.
I wouldn't have to say his name anymore.
What is it? Some guy.
Some guy.
Joss
Whedon. Yes.
This is a full spoiler podcast. I'm a huge fan of the show, but Jared has never watched the whole series, and I'm trying to convince him it's worth his time.
Yes, and hopefully it's worth your time too, listening to us at home. So I hope you're sitting down, got a cup of or a glass of wine in your lounge room, listening to us bicker about Buffy the Vampire Slayer and how much Eddie loves it. And me,
yes.
Not so much, although I will say this episode I did kind of like.
Yes, you actually, I didn't have to tell you to get off your phone too many times.
No, yes.
Once,
maybe.
I had to do it once.
Yeah. No, I actually, I think this episode was pretty good. I think it delved into some ideas that I don't think I've seen many shows sort of dealing with vampires to sort of throw in there. So we'll go into that a bit more later. But no, overall, I actually enjoyed this one. And when it ended, I was like, oh, okay, that actually kind of felt satisfying with it ending on that. And I could say I actually enjoyed this episode.
Yeah. I think this is the first episode that at the end you went, oh, that was actually pretty good.
Yeah. So they got one episode good, but that's it. One good episode out of 143 so far.
Yeah. Well, as the Joss Whedon written and directed episodes go, this is probably on the lower end of the scale. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it wasn't the highest rated one of the season by looking at the ratings of it.
Well, there's some episodes to come that are just really good.
Yeah. See, as I've said previously, the PSA episodes they do are just so boring and dull. And I feel like they've just compromised everything in trying to make these episodes, but
there's
I just lose interest.
To be honest, there's always something in those episodes though that makes them worthwhile. Like there's always
not really.
There's always
apart
something.
from the last week's, I'd say there was something a little more to it. Oh, not last week's. The roofie one. What was the frat one?
Yeah, Reptile Boy.
Yeah, Reptile Boy. There was maybe something in that, but I feel like the other ones were just blah and just I wasn't a fan of those at all. And I just find when you're constricting an artistic decision made on something you've got a quota to do, I just feel like it's just, you've just sort of lost me there. There's a way I sort of feel. Yeah,
but even, like, I honestly believe that even a mediocre episode of Buffy is better than some of the TV that you get these days. Like,
I would believe that, yeah. There's some god-awful TV. Remember Dark Matter? It was such a shame that show should have been good, but it was garbage. It was. I wanted it to be good. It was well made, high production values, but
there's a lot of shows like that where they just don't have that clever, the banter, also those philosophical ideas.
Yeah.
Just don't carry through.
Well, it just seems like if we just spend all this money on it and that it will just work. You know, if we just make it look like this and do this with it, it'll just work. And it doesn't. And when you compare that show, Dark Matter, to say a show like The Expanse, that's a prime example where one works and one doesn't.
Yeah, but Dark Matter really did seem like it was trying to rip off Firefly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think it was. Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, like all the characters in that show
seemed like a checklist of characters, didn't they?
Yeah.
That was the issue with that show. It just seemed like a checklist. Oh, this is that character. This is this character, and But we're not doing Dark Matter podcast. we get sidetracked sometimes, baby.
No, I'm talking about TV, like the fact that, like, why I think Buffy is such a good show is that even in the not so great episodes, you can always pull some little gem from it.
Okay. All right.
So
I'll pay that.
That's what you're missing. Did you want to do the summary?
Yeah, let's get that out of the way. Then we'll get back to what you want to say. I can see you're etching to sort of get onto this. Oh, the guys want some Battle Royale. Sorry, baby, I got to go. Sorry, it's COD night. Sorry, we're going to end this now.
All right, bye.
Okay, all right. Well, that was been... All right. This episode begins with Angel and Drusilla meeting in a park where Angel warns that if her and Spike remain in Sunnydale, a fight with them is inevitable.
Run and catch, run and catch.
Yes.
The lamb is caught in the blackberry patch.
Yes. He tries to persuade Drusilla to leave town with Spike, to no avail. Buffy sees them from a distance while they talk, sparking her curiosity and her jealousy. In the school hallway, a young man sneaks up behind Buffy and surprises her. Buffy introduces him to Willow and Xander as her friend Ford, with whom she attended school in Los Angeles. He explains that he is finishing his senior year at Sunnydale High. At the Bronze, Buffy introduces Angel to Ford, whom Angel obviously doesn't trust. In the alley behind the Bronze, Buffy stakes a vampire and Ford reveals that he knows that she is a slayer. Angel shows up at Willow's bedroom and asks to help track down Ford on the internet. Willow quickly finds that Ford is not actually registered at Sunnydale High at all. The next night, Buffy and Ford see two vampires running onto campus. Out of sight of Buffy, Ford holds a stake to the vampire's hut and threatens to kill it unless it does what he wants. When Buffy finds Ford again, he claims to have killed the vampire. Meanwhile, Xander, Willow, and Angel visit Sunset Club, the only address Willow has found for Ford. The patrons romanticize and sympathize with vampires, whom they refer to as
The
lonely ones, and Angel cannot help but scoff. Buffy goes back to the library and sees a picture of Drusilla among Giles' research. Giles explains that she was Spike's lover, supposedly killed by an angry mob. Soon, a vampire storms out of Giles' study with a book. Buffy recognizes it as the vampire Ford said he had killed. Ford approaches Spike and asks to be made a vampire. The idea does not interest Spike until Ford explains that he can give them the Slayer in return. Later that night, Angel comes to Buffy's house to tell her about Ford's club. Buffy goes to the Sunset Club where Ford explains that he was counting on Buffy figuring out his plan. Buffy pleads with him to let the other club members go. Ford interrupts her to tell her that he has a brain cancer and will be dead within 6 months. Becoming a vampire is the only way to avoid death. He then admits to her that the other people will not be changed. Within minutes of sunset, the vampires arrive and immediately start feeding. Ford attacks Buffy, but she knocks him out. Buffy overpowers Drusilla and threatens to stake her. Spike immediately orders the vampires to stop feeding. Buffy demands that they let everyone go, which Spike agrees to. The former vampire worshippers flee and Buffy follows. Ford is still unconscious on the floor as Buffy closes the door, locking all the vampires inside with him. Later, Buffy and Giles are waiting over Ford's grave. Ford's vampire self emerges and Buffy stakes her former friend before wondering sadly if her life as a Slayer ever gets easier.
The end.
The end. There you go. I got it. All right, Eddie. So, what was it like watching this episode for you?
You haven't seen this episode.
No, so this was definitely a first for me. And as I said before, I relatively enjoyed it. I thought it was a pretty strong themes in there. So, what did you take from this, Eddie?
I really like this episode. It's an overarching episode and it has some, and we get some serious existentialist philosophy thrown into this one.
Yeah, that's definitely a lot in there.
Yeah,
Yep.
we also get lots of Spike and Drusilla, which is always good. And we find out about how brutal Angel was when he was a vampire. It is another, episode about growing up, sticking to the theme of this entire season. It's, at the end of it, it is sort of that premise of, your life is the sum of the choices we make.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So, can I start with something that I wanted to bring up?
Yes.
Why are you laughing?
Yeah, because I think I know what you're going to say.
Oh, okay. So the part that really intrigued me the most in this episode was Ford's character admitting that he had cancer and this was a way for him to cheat death. Now, I've never really, I'm sure it's been done before, but I've never seen it before where becoming a vampire as a choice of escaping death. Now, to me, it seems almost a logical choice. I mean, he's going to die. in 6 months, a horrible death by the sounds of it. Being a vampire mightn't be such a bad idea.
Yeah, but he won't be him. He'll be a monster. He has to kill people to survive,
Yeah,
and
but-
he has a drive to kill people to survive.
So what?
So the morals of that is what is wrong.
Yeah, well, it could be the morals of Buffy not allowing him to succumb to those horrific.
But
Death.
death is a natural part of life, and but she's had to, it did also have echoes of her saying to Giles in Prophecy Girl, I'm 16 years old, I don't want to die.
Yeah, yeah,
So she's already gone through this.
yeah, yeah. So, but also what I want to talk about is so when you become a vampire, or when someone becomes a vampire, are you?
No.
So what are you then?
Well, you don't have a soul, so you're pretty much a serial killer.
Okay, but what does having a soul really mean? I mean, you wanted to get the existential of this. So, let's stick with the ship of Theseus. Now we've all seen WandaVision. We all looked that up. So, if it is him or is it not him? I mean, what makes it not him? The fact that you don't have a soul. But what having a soul makes you though? But is he still the same memories? Are you still the same person? Like, do you have the still likes? Do you do?
Well,
like the
yeah,
same
I guess you do still like a lot of the same things and whatnot, but you haven't had drive to kill people.
So I mentioned the ship of Theseus just a second ago. So without going too deep into that, I thought just in case you're wondering what that is, the ship of Theseus is a thought experiment about a ship that was in ancient Greek called the Theses. So it was held in a museum type of way, and over time the ship would decay, and they would replace planks or pieces of the ship, and over time would pass by. The question would be, is it still the ship of Theseus because they've replaced most of it because it rot? So the question is, is it the ship of Theseus anymore if you've replaced everything that's still on the ship? And often the thought experiment says, well, both answers are right. It is both the ship of Theseus and not the ship of Theseus at the same time.
Yeah.
It's sort of the gist of it. I don't have any degrees in psychology, but I think that's basically the philosophy. But that's basically the explanation of it. So with the vampire, so are you not you? You are not you then. Just because you don't have a soul, that means you're not you anymore. Or is there something deeper going on?
What Buffy says is, a demon sets up shop in your body.
So what is there some sort of demonic creature that then takes over your body to make you the vampire?
Well, they do sort of talk about vampires as being like a demon that has entered the human body.
So is that another consciousness, a demon consciousness taken over your body? And that's not you at all? And they share your memories?
It'll still be it still has you still have your memories, you still have all your skills. For some reason you always get really cool fighting skills as well.
Yeah, and it also increases your libido too. Being a vampire, I've always noticed. definitely increases that. So could it be that, if I was to hypothesize this, could it be that the demon takes over your body and absorbs your memories and is there remembering your memories? That could be how it works. So it's sort of like taking over your car. So it's still got your CD player in there, i.e. your music.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it's driving your car.
Yeah.
And it's not doing a very not very good on the economy of the car, and it's thrashing the shit out of the car.
Pretty much, yeah.
Cutting people off, just being a real jerk on the road.
It's like running over people on the road.
Running over people, cutting people off, not using indicators.
But it's like deliberately going up on the sidewalk.
Yeah. In the outside lane going slow, like just pissing everyone off. Yeah.
But mostly killing people.
And killing people, yeah.
And really enjoying killing people.
And enjoying killing people.
That's the big thing.
So could that be the comparison or an explanation of what happens with the demon taking over the human body?
Yeah. Well, we're probably going to get even more into this when you find out more about Angel and him being ensouled.
Oh, okay, right.
So yeah.
Right.
So this will probably be an ongoing topic.
That's all right. Okay, I'll just
because
it got me thinking about this. Through the day, I was thinking, who is who?
Angel,
what does it mean to be you? You know.
Well, as I said before, like you are the sum of the choices we make.
Yes. Okay. Had enough. All right. Moving on. What else you got for me, Eddie?
I was going to talk about Drusilla.
Oh no.
Well, I noticed in this episode though, like mainly because it was dealing with the vampire cult, who are worshipping the vampires, who obviously had read far too many Anne Rice novels, and one of the characters in Interview with the Vampire, which is an Anne Rice novel,
Yes.
Claudia, and so she's a child.
Oh, the Kirsten Dunst character.
So she's a child that is turned into a vampire
Yes.
who is forever young.
Yeah.
And she has those dolls and wears similar dresses to what
She does, yeah.
But she's a child. Like she ends up
some more.
Yeah, so she ends up with an adult's brain inside the body of a child.
Yeah.
And with Drusilla, she's sort of, she's an adult
With a child's mind, yes.
with the mind of a child.
And why is that? Is that because she's still sick or something? Or
Well, that's what Angel tells Buffy. The reason she is the way that she is because what she was one of his obsessions.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he realized that she had the sight. That's what they call it. So she was slightly psychic.
Yeah.
And of course, in those days, that just meant you're a witch, or possessed by a demon. But anyway, he killed and tortured her entire family, and then she ran away to a convent. And the night that she took her vows to be a nun, he turned her into a vampire.
Right. Oh, but that was centuries ago. I got to hold on to the past.
So yeah, he made her crazy.
Right.
Before he turned her into a vampire.
Okay.
So yeah, she was a very powerful vampire because of the fact that she has that sight.
When you say powerful, do you mean as in she has powers? I mean, she doesn't seem very powerful. She kind of just stands there staring.
Oh, she's not very... I think she's been weakened by this mob in Prague.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, that was just something I noticed. I also absolutely love her nails. They're black with little white tips.
Yeah.
She must have eaten a nail stylist or something. Oh yeah, the Sunset Club. What did you think of the Sunset Club?
They are exactly what I expected them to be. They were so atypical, a goth place playing Sisters of Mercy. It's exactly what I thought it would be.
And you know what, Jared?
What?
I would have gone there.
Yeah, I would have gone there too. Yes.
And drunk my wine out of a goblet.
Or for the lonely ones.
Or as I like to call them, the nasty, pointy, bitey one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do find that her response to Angel's, just because someone has a differing opinion in yours, you don't have to be so mean about it. But her opinion is actually quite wrong and dangerous. It's something she doesn't actually know anything about.
It's kind of something that still plays on today with anti-vaxxers and flat earthers and stuff like that. People would say, you have to be nasty about it, but those opinions can be sort of dangerous, and I want to stay away from that.
Exactly. So, when Buffy reminisces with Ford about her old high school times with him, and she used to listen to the Divinal song, I Touch Myself. And remember, I brought this up in the very first podcast.
First episode. Oh, that seems like a lifetime ago now.
That the Divinals did a lot of songs on the soundtrack for the original
for the movie.
Buffy. Yeah.
So, special guests tonight. I think it's Jason Burr. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly.
Yeah, so he was like a bit of an it boy in the late 90s, early 2000s. Was in Roswell.
Yeah, most famous from Roswell, I think.
And Dawson's Creek. I remember him in that.
And there's currently a reboot of Roswell on at the moment that he's in. It's still going 4 seasons, I think, longer than the original series, which I suppose
I think he was in
must be all right.
Supergirl as well.
Yeah,
So-
Supergirl. Yeah, he's in that. Currently in that as well. Is that currently going, or is that finished?
No, that's still going.
Still going. Okay.
And the girl that plays Chanterelle.
Yes.
So I know,
Julia Lee.
yeah. So Julia Lee. So she actually starts making a few more appearances.
As the same character.
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, she's in. I think she's only in one more episode of Buffy, but then she sort of has a reoccurring role in Angel.
Oh, okay. No, she hasn't done a whole lot actually. Fairly quiet career.
Yep, she's in one episode of Charmed.
Yeah, a couple little, but yeah, not a whole lot. And there was,
Did you say you found some stuff on Diego?
yeah, the actor, the character Diego, named Jared Paul. AD, he spells it. Yeah, done a lot of work. Probably most famous role, which actually in the same year was Liar Liar. He was the guy with the zit on his face, if you can remember that. He was in that. Yeah, he's pretty steady career. Bewitched movie. Ooh, never saw that. Monk. Yeah, still got some. Still working. Movie 43. Ugh, never seen that film. You ever see movie 43?
Yes, I have.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I actually think it was slightly misunderstood, but
Really? It was panned pretty bad at the time. Like it was it seemed to be a film that was made over a series of years, like just using stars with like one scene, and then that was used as a pretext saying, "Hey, Will Smith did a spot in this show. Do you want to do a spot?" And Hugh Jackman was in this, and they just sort of lured all these actors in over years, I think it took, and then put it all together and made some sort of movie out of it. I haven't seen it though.
yeah. So you're just going off what other people have
Exactly,
said,
I am.
and I've actually watched
No,
it.
I didn't really say
and
it was bad.
I honestly think it is misunderstood.
Yeah.
I think it might be kind of in the same vein as what's that Tom Green?
Freddie Got Fingered.
Freddie Got Fingered, like
Yeah.
one of those.
So bad it's art.
Yes, so bad it's art.
Not so bad it's good. So bad it's art.
art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I might check it out one day. Kind of like Gods of Egypt.
No, that was just good.
Yeah. That's like Flash Gordon good, I reckon.
That
That's
was like
just
campy.
Yeah. That was just so bizarre, and I think everyone just misunderstood that too. Yeah. Maybe.
Just good campy fun.
Okay, so we got a new segment. We're moving on to overseas titles for the episode. This episode was called Lie to Me, and Eddie's going to read out the foreign language versions, or the English version of the foreign language, and I'm going to guess which country they're from. Hit me, Eddie.
Okay, Deceive Me.
French.
Armenian.
Oh, okay. I never would have got that one.
You're Lying to Me.
Oh, it's German.
No, check. Liar.
Portuguese.
Finish. Lie.
I'm running out of languages here. Chinese. Mandarin.
French. Death Wish.
Death Wish.
Death Wish.
Ugh. That's pretty dark. That's got to be German.
It is German.
Oh, no. Oh, the Germans are pretty dark sometimes.
The Truth Hurts.
The truth hurts. The truth hurts. Polish.
Italian.
Oh.
Secrets and Lies.
Can we go Portuguese, Brazil?
No, Polish.
Ah.
Yes, let's get to question time.
All right, let's roll up into the questions.
Question time.
Answer the question.
Okay,
Yep.
Jared.
Do it.
Which character was your favorite in this episode?
I think I'm going to say Angel was my favorite character.
Yeah,
This episode.
This was a good Angel episode.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
got to see a bit more of his personality.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. The detective Angel.
Detective Angel.
Yes. Very
Yeah.
much so, I think. Yeah.
Which character do you love to hate?
I think I'm going to have to say Willow in this episode.
Okay.
The fumbling, mumbling in the hallway And
Oh, you love it when Giles does it, but you hate it when Willow does it.
yeah, but then yeah, I don't know. It's less charming when she does it, and just more annoying. And then there's also the scene of her on the bed, on the phone, the legs up. The cliche thing of a girl on the phone,
Got the fluffy slippers on.
fluffy slippers on, feet in the air, and twirling the phone cord with your finger. Such a cliche shot. Yeah.
I think it's the Uma Thurman on the bed.
No, she made that look cool. Come on. She's there with a cigarette in her hand. Like, she's there like with her fluffy slippers twirling the phone. Nah, fail.
Okay. Yeah, I would have gone Chanterelle and Diego, the wannabe vampires.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No capes.
Yes, and that horrible cape. Who would wear that? Like, yeah. I think that was sort of the point.
Yeah.
He was supposed to look like a bit of a dork. What was the most memorable fight scene?
It's only sort of the fight scene at the end, isn't there?
Oh, there's a few.
There's one in the alleyway, but I don't think you see anything, do you? You sort of just hear
There's
it
one
all.
in the alleyway, and then there's one at the school where she's fighting with a vampire, and Ford is fighting with a vampire.
Yeah, no, it's probably the final one. I think there's a bit more ass kicking going on.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go with the verbal fight
Oh,
that
okay,
that Buffy and Ford have, because
Right.
that's pretty epic.
okay, all right.
Yeah.
I thought these had to be fisty fights.
No, it just says fight.
Okay. Well, I didn't know that. I thought they always had to be physical fights.
It just says fight. You can read into it what you want to read into it.
Well, I thought we've been quite clear that it meant fisty fights. So now you've gone and changed the rules. Now I have to go redo all the other episodes because I thought that's what you meant.
Well, no,
Next week we're going to do episode
generally-
1 all over again.
Well, generally there's, I don't know. Out of all the fights in this episode, I actually think the verbal fight is more
I-
impactful than the physical fights.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Cheater.
LOL moment.
Oh, the LOL moment was when they're in the club, the Sunset Club, and when Buffy locks them all into the place, and Spike's like, "Where's the door handle?"
Yeah, I have to go with it's the sight gag where Angel's there going, "These people don't know anything about vampires. What they are, how they live, how they dress," and then a guy cuts
walks
through
through.
wearing Angel's
Yeah.
exact outfit. I always thought that was
No, it
quite a funny.
felt a little
funny-
forced, that one.
I thought it was a really funny.
It felt like
sight gag.
something from Naked Gun, or one of those spoof movies. I'd never wear something like that.
I don't know. For some reason, it always makes me laugh when I see that. Who gets the wooden spoon in this episode,
I think Drusilla gets the wooden spoon.
and why does she get the wooden spoon?
Well, she stuffed all the plans up. She was standing there just sort of doing nothing,
She
and then
shouldn't
Buffy,
She shouldn't have been there.
leave her at home. Leave her at home next time.
Yeah.
And stuffed all the plans up again, or not again, but almost had her. And yeah, Buffy holds her ransom, and then everyone, escapes, and yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to go with Ford. I actually think his plan was a bit flawed in that you have to really, if you're dealing with a slay, you need to incapacitate her.
Yeah. And can we also mention that I was actually surprised with Spike holding up his end of the bargain?
Yeah, it is kind of surprising.
I was thinking at the end that for sure they just fed on him and that was it. And then when she kills him at the end, it sort of surprised me, 1, because he was alive, and 2, because she killed him, and 3, we actually held up his end of the bargain and went through with that. I don't know why.
This was also sort of the flaw in, the plan. It was like, even though he got turned into a vampire, Buffy's a vampire slayer. So,
Yeah.
So
Do you think maybe Spike was counting on that?
I'm pretty sure Spike was counting on it.
It was like an extra middle finger he can sort of wave to her. Say,
Yeah.
you get to kill your best friend now.
It wasn't her best friend, but
Well, they were holding hands. They got really chummy very quickly. Actually, that kind of pissed me off too. Like, as soon as they met each other, they're holding hands like they're a couple and like really, really chummy. Like, she's not done that with anyone else before.
Oh, but it's an old friend.
Yeah. Okay.
She hasn't, spoken to on the phone or
No.
talked to. Or...
No, yeah. But yeah, we're going to hold his
Yeah.
hand though.
All right. Favorite scene?
I think the final scene at the end when they're all like, just grabbing all the humans and feeding off them, like that was pretty full on, that scene, I reckon. Yeah, like it got pretty dark. Like when they all just, run in, eat up, boys, and they're just, grabbing everyone and just munching on them. Like it's, yeah. Definitely pretty intense, that scene.
Yeah. Mine had to be when Angel starts telling Buffy about his past with Drusilla, and it's the line, "I did a lot of unconscionable things when I was a vampire. Drusilla was the worst. She was an obsession of mine. She was pure and sweet and chaste." And Buffy says, "And you made her a vampire. First I made her insane. I killed everyone she loved, visited every mental torture on her I could devise. She eventually fled to a convent, and on the day she took her holy orders, I turned her into a demon."
That's not very nice, is it?
No, but it sort of shows you how bad Angel actually was as a vampire. What was your least favourite scene?
Yeah, the awkward Willow mumbling, stumbling in the hallway.
When she's trying not to talk to Buffy about Angel.
Yeah. Oh, I just hate it when characters do that. I really do.
Yeah.
It brings the whole episode down a notch, I feel.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's a pretty good episode.
Yeah.
It's not funny. I don't find it humorous or cute. I just find it annoying.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
Actually, I don't like when Xander says, does she know any fat guys? Bad Xander. Bad Xander.
All right.
Favorite quote?
I think the final lines at the end of the episode are probably the best part. Did you also quote that? Is that your quote?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll leave you to quote that then.
All right.
I'll go with that. Yeah.
Okay. So Buffy says, Does it ever get easier? Giles responds with, "You mean life?" Buffy says, "Yeah. Does it get easy?" Giles responds with, "What do you want me to say?" Buffy says, "Lie to me." Giles says, "Yes, it's terribly simple. The good guys are always stalwart and true. The bad guys are easily distinguished by their pointy horns or black hats, and we always defeat them and save the day. No one ever dies and everyone lives happily ever after." Buffy responds with, "Liar."
Bullshit!
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really great scene.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Good way to end the episode. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some good stuff in this episode.
Mm.
The other one that I would have gone with was when they enter the club and Xander and Willow are like, do you feel there's some sort of theme going on here? And she's like vampires, yay.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and the lonely ones. The
Hmm.
lonely ones and the ones I like to refer to as the nasty pointy bitey ones.
And just quickly, not the vampire, the guy who's standing in a coffin as they walk in, he's like, "Hi."
Yeah.
Meant to be the makeup designer for the show. It had a little cameo,
Okay.
which he kind of did seem out of character from with the demographic of the other people who are in there are all quite young, and there's this sort of older chap just standing in there. Hi.
Yeah. Who's the MVP of the episode?
I guess it has to be Buffy. Saves the day, saves everyone,
Yeah.
and has to kill an old friend. And can I also add, quite nonchalantly too, there wasn't even a second where she said hi or, "Oh, it's you, you're back from the dead." Not even, did even say a word. Just, did it. And you could almost say it almost didn't happen in some ways, the way she did it. Like if you cut that out, you wouldn't even know she'd killed someone.
Yes, but he had also just tried to kill her.
Yeah.
Like multiple times.
Yeah, I'm saying there was no comfort. There was no like, "Oh,
and
he said, I'm back." There's no
lied
confrontation.
to her, and as Buffy says, you have a choice. You don't have a good choice, but you have a choice. You're opting for mass murder here, and nothing you're going to say will make that okay.
Hmm.
So he was going to kill a lot of people
Hmm.
to stay alive.
Yeah.
Yep. And she, at that point, he's a vampire. She doesn't believe he deserved to remain
But just
a vampire.
not even a word, not even a
Not even a hi.
no. Yeah.
Not
Well,
even a
nothing.
smart ass retort to him. Yeah. Something like, you didn't think this part of the plan through now, did ya?
Yeah. Well, not even say, hey, dickhead. You know, not even
Yeah.
something like that. How you going? Yeah, wanker.
Best Cordelia freakout moment?
I don't think she was hardly in this episode, apart from the intro when she's bitching on about Marie Antoinette, and at least she offered them cake.
Yeah, that's all I've got here is
Yeah.
I just don't see why everyone's always picking on Marie Antoinette. I can so relate to her. She worked really hard to look that good, and people just don't appreciate that kind of effort. And I know the peasants were all depressed. And Xander says, you mean oppressed. Whatever. They were cranky. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. She would definitely, feel something for Marie Antoinette. Let her eat cake.
Yeah. What do you rate this episode out of 10? Using something from the episode.
All right, I'm going to give it 5.5. Blue velvet capes.
I think it was sequined.
Sequence velvet capes.
Okay.
5.5.
All right. I will go 8 out of 10 liquefying brain tumors.
Oh, dear.
Okay. Not funny.
What the hell were you thinking?
Okay.
Okay, Eddie. Well, I think that that wraps it up for this week. So you've been listening to Nerd So Culture. I hope you enjoyed us. Please, if you do, please like, share, subscribe. Check out our Twitter, Instagram, Facebook page, Eddie.
And TikTok.
And TikTok.
And we're on YouTube, aren't we? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we've got a YouTube as well. You can listen to it while you're at computer if you can't get into your other apps or anything like that. And that does it for this week. So, play us out, Eddie.
Grr, arg.